Hi, if you are a business owner and you are very keen to know the 5 impactful areas that you need to plan for your business, then you're in the right spot of considering some of the facts that I'm going to share with you today. Let's consider the most 5 important areas where it might help you discover the gaps that you have in your business at this point of a time, irrespective of what stage you are in. And let's have action items planned for individual segment of this domain so that you have vision of where you want to reach with these gaps being fixed, right? First segment is strategy, where you will clearly craft your own roadmap so that everyone is in your team is rowing towards the same direction, in your vision direction, right? Next is the culture. You have to make sure your leadership, your team members are aligning in your organization depending on number of departments you have or the size of the company. But that's what is called the winning culture. Again, I'm just giving you the high level definition of each of these segments, but we will deep dive into each of these segments individually where you can take an action items based on the analysis that will help you discover. Operations. Third segment is operations, right? This will help you understand all kind of a people dependencies that you have and how can you overcome it to create a hyper productive model in your business. Fourth segment is revenue, right? What kind of a strategies will actually help you optimize your marketing and sales, any kind of operations for that matter, to grow your revenues and profits in each month or each quarter and annual point of view, right? And fifth one is execution. You need to ensure that growth is achieved in a certain consistent pace with right actions being implemented consistently. Without that, it's very hard. So, again, I repeat, it's strategy, it's culture, operations, revenue, execution, right? Now, in the context of small businesses, strategy can be carefully devised into a different plan of action items to achieve your long term goals, right? You need to have your blueprint, which gives you the guideline that helps you to make the short term decisions versus the long term goal decisions. And how can you secure your market dominating position and have your product or service tested with first set of user base clients versus having to expand that outreach to attract global market or even your local national level market and achieve that financial success, right? This is where your strategy comes into picture in order to help you break down your vision and goals into multiple action oriented steps. One is obviously you will chart down in 6 months down the lane, where do you envision your business to be? Or in 1 year down the lane, how do you envision your business having to grow? To reach to the clear strategy vision, right? What should your business achieve? Whether this translates into a specific and measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound smart goals, all of us know what is smart goal, right? You have to make sure you have this very clear goals defined. And depending on the size of the business, let's consider a small business or like who have just crossed their growth level. These goals often focus on the growth and how do you penetrate into the market, what will be your revenue targets and innovation. Once you have your vision and goal setting clear, then comes the market understanding. This is a really very critical and a must and should have component in your strategy if you have to penetrate yourself in depth amidst other competitors, right? And this includes to what level you have analyzed your competitors, your target customers, who they are, and what do they do, what they need, what are their pain points, what are their values, And then comes to the competitors, again, same thing, who they are, what they are offering in the competitive analysis they've done in terms of pain points that they would like to address. And overall market trends, right? The evolving needs of your customer base and what kind of a technology advancements that you need to learn and catch up with. So this understanding informs decision and helps your individual small businesses carve out their niche. Next, competitive advantage is also important in your strategy, right? Because it involves in identifying and developing this insightful report that you can derive of who are your top 3 to 5 competitors at whether at national level or international level, right? This could be based upon your product quality or the customer service or the unique selling propositions and at what pricing model, right? Because this clarity will help you articulate how the business will differentiate itself in a very meaningful way, and it will be at your advantageous level in any specific context that you can think about. Next, again, strategy should also consider the resource allocation, right? Small businesses typically operate at very limited resource or no resource at all to start with as a solopreneur, and then you go to a small size team. But you need to ensure the whatever resources you have to use it very efficiently, right? Because this involves making decisions and about how much time they're investing, the money you put, the effort you put for various level activities that you need to leverage these resources for, such as product development, sales, marketing, operations development, anything for that matter for your end-to-end business. Next, risk management in your strategy. You have to identify potential risk and what kind of developing plans that you need to plan for to mitigate them, right? Because risks can range from financial uncertainties. You don't know what kind of financial issues you might come across. And these are something that you need to overcome uh, by planning ahead of a time what can be the plan B and C solutions to mitigate them, right? And because your plan of action should go in the direction of addressing the changes that will spike up with regards to your competitive threats and market instability. Next, scalability and growth, right? So if you think about like a pre-planned effective strategy, it just not considers the current operations, but also anticipates what kind of a blockers it might, or you as a business owner might come across, right? So the strategy should outline how the business can scale operations, expand into new markets, or diversify its products and services. It's very, very crucial for any kind of a long-term stability. Next, execution plan, right? The strategy is not just about considering everything we just discussed, right? Right from the vision to the risk mitigation plan. The execution plan, it should be really actionable. That means creating a detailed execution plan that outlines who does what by when, and with what resources, right? Because this kind of a plan will convert your strategic objectives into day-to-day activities, which resource does what, ensuring that your entire organization come together, they really work cohesively towards achieving your common end goal, right? So overall strategy for your small individual businesses is just not about surviving in the market, but also having to sustain in the market. It needs really a thoughtful plan with a blend of vision and your operational efficiency, the risk management, leadership management, right? By the way, if you need really help with bringing your whole team and the business strategy in place, that's where feel free to contact me and we can work together crafting your strategy, right? So having said that, this is what is strategy. So now, what does it mean for you after listening to what it takes to arrive at a strategy? You need to understand what is really working for you in terms of having to plan for your SMART goals, implementing it, reevaluating it, risk analysis point of view, confidently mitigating them, and making sure all of your leadership stakeholders are aligned with executing those SMART goals, right? Now, with this, you should also come up with what needs improvement with your gap analysis and have a clear, specific actions to fix those gaps. Now, the second segment, let's go to culture, right? What does culture mean in any kind of a business? That means, are you sharing the common values? Are your employees, are your leadership stakeholders, everyone in your organization, are they sharing your common values, behaviors, the kind of environment that you create for your business, right? That is it getting shaped in alignment with how your employees interacting with each other and how they're executing the goals? Because a strong culture fosters alignment with your business goals. It's very, very important to create that kind of a work culture and atmosphere and enhance the productivity. So don't forget, it's a foundation goal to consider to bring your team together cohesively and make sure and ensure smooth operational execution. If I have to break it down, what does it mean? First thing is you have to consider having the right people, right? This is really a cornerstone of your strong culture. Having the right people with the right mindset, with the right skill set at the right point of a time to achieve your goal, right? You don't need just an individual who possesses the skills required for the job, but at the same time, you need the people who have the right mindset to align with your end goal and the company's mission and value. Only this sense of belonging and ownership will help them foster the proper collaboration environment that brings your business in the right direction. Second thing is people in the right position. You have to make sure, I know it's a competitive world, majority of them and many people come with a lot of competitive skill sets. But it is your responsibility, your leadership stakeholder responsibility to make sure to understand if you have a people right person in the right position also, so that they can contribute to what they are good at. If there's any misalignment, on the other hand, there's a risk of having hiccups in your company's growth, leading to dissatisfaction, low morale, inefficiency, right? So make sure you have right people in right position. People doing the right work. Beyond being the right in the right position, you have to make sure they are focusing on work without distraction. Focusing on the work that will actually have an impact to the business. Because a culture that really drives these roles and expectations, responsibilities clearly when you hire them, and even every month in your one-on-one sessions, it will ensure you're giving consistent feedback to the team members and you prioritize right tasks that are in aligned with your vision. So it matters to do the right work. Next, ownership and accountability and responsibility. See, it's very much important, a strong culture comprehending all of this together. Because when your employees, when your team members, when your leaders take proactive ownership of their roles and responsibilities and proactively take more bigger charter of what they can achieve and not getting confined or restricted to what they have to at some point of a time, depending on the nature of the work, then the responsibility will actually ensure that everyone is working towards one direction and boost the confidence of leadership also. And it leads to faster dynamic decision making skills. And hiring. Obviously, you need to put good amount of effort to hire and have a right hiring process where your culture fits in. It's not just critical to hire based on their skill set, but also for culture fit, bringing in people who are aligned with your company's values. I keep repeating company values because it's very critical for your work ethic that ensures the culture stays strong as the business grows. And so effective hiring process looks beyond these qualifications, right? In order to make sure you are bringing in right profile with right experience and right person who integrates into your team and they contribute to your positive work environment. Next, employee engagement. So, engaged employees are always a backbone of your business, thriving business, sustainable business, because they go beyond motivation. It's not just about making sure they're paid monthly, month on month paycheck, and making sure you're giving them feedback, making sure that you set the roles and responsibility. No, you have to make them feel that as a company together, you're engaged together. It's about employees feeling connected with the company's mission and with each other. They need to feel you're approachable as a business owner, as a leader. You need to make sure you're approachable with a regular communication, with feedback, and giving them opportunities for growth in your company, right? You have to invest in them, not just your company success, but you have to invest in individual employee success for your company to having to grow and create a positive work environment. Next, leadership. Leadership, who you consider as a leader, it sets the tone for the entire company's culture. Because effective leaders lead by example, embodying the company's value and creating an environment of trust and oneness and openness. Because they are the one who, leaders are the one should ideally inspire irrespective of what's their pain point, at what point of a time they are engaging with employees and executing your goals. They need to inspire, they need to guide irrespective of any kind of a challenge they're going through, and they need to support their teams. So helping employees reach their full potential while steering the company towards its success is the main key goal of a leader. And then succession planning, a culture that values growth, right? And develop the future and preparing for future by identifying proactively the key talent and nurturing them as a potential leader, because today's critical talent is tomorrow's leader of that company. They know what it takes to get things done and deliver in time with the quality. Production quality is important. They are the one who understand the risks very well because of the depth of insights they would have gained in the period of duration of time, both from domain, technical, or the research, or sales, marketing, analysis point of anything for that matter. So you need to make sure there is a good amount of succession planning done consistently to continue a business and have a capable individuals repeating this planning every month, every quarter, every 6 months, right? Repeatedly, at least 4-5 times a year, where it will also give them the scope to step into more competitive leadership roles as the company expands and the company sees the potential this leader brings with the succession planning, right? And the values. Like I said, with all of this, core values are really foundation of any company's future, right? Your decision making comes into picture, your behavior, interactions, both internally and externally matters a lot. It's important really you create this strong cohesive culture so that you bring and employees together and make them feel they're aligned with the company's purpose, and you foster their skill set, their culture, their behavior, and their eventually achieving their loyalty and dedication to work for you. So again, with this, understand what is working for you. Are your employees or leaders working towards your company's culture? Are they satisfied, or what kind of conflicts you might have? Do you have a right skill, a right talent, or talent with right skill set, I meant to say? What kind of engagement you are actually proactively planning for? What kind of rating do you see in employee engagement? And is your hiring process documented? Are you taking the feedback during the hiring process? Are you committing for your employees' success? What kind of strong relationships are you fostering? So all of this is important. If you see there's a gap, if you see there is a need for improvement, right? It's important for you to invest your time, resource, and mind and thoughts. So take a action to fix. Third segment is about the operations. What does it mean now, right? So again, in a small business, what does operations mean, right? And for anyone, as soon as I say the word true word operations, it refers to day-to-day activities and the workflows individual leader, individual employee, and in business owner having to execute on a daily basis to make sure business runs smoothly and efficiently, right? You have to make sure you have your process streamlined, which will add to finally improving your productivity to your business growth. Because effective operations are the backbone of your businesses. You need to understand some of the key aspects of your operations. One is system. What kind of a structure and tools that you're leveraging in order to automate and streamline tasks within your business? Does it include the necessary software platforms or communication tools and workflows that make your operations really more efficient and not monotonous? Do you have a well-defined system for your business to function smoothly and not having to consume your time more than few hours where you're not supposed to be? Are you able to scale with the system that you think you have, right? Even with the limited resources. Next, processes. Processes are like step-by-step activities again. System is a structure. Processes is again step-by-step activities that defines how tasks are completed in the business. Whether it's your SOP or documented instructions or your training mode point of view, you have to make sure that you provide a clear path for how the work should be done. First, on that matter, you should have done that one-time research and document the clear path from handling customer inquiries to delivering the product or services. When processes are standardized, it really creates that consistency in quality, speed, and output, ensuring customers really receive the same level of service and the engagement that you can offer as a business owner, individual versus from your team also. Because it can save you a lot of confusion, time, and improve your productivity and performance. Third, like I've already highlighted, the documentation for both process and systems to be effective. It's important based on your research and what you've done with the initial stage of a business, what has worked in trial and error. You have really documented every reference point for your employees for different roles and responsibilities. Do they understand how things should be done? It's a detailed guide that you need to offer them that outline your step-by-step responsibilities and expectation for every task available. Right? Next, being followed as per documentation. Documentation is one thing. At the same time, it's important for them to understand the documentation and making sure they're actually following as per the documentation. Because a challenge that you can see as the company grows, it's very hard to keep up with the documentation is one thing, updated documentation, having to make sure they're not outdated, and having to make sure that every team follows that documentation and they adhere to them consistently. They take accountability to make sure the team understands the importance of following the procedures. Regular reviews, regular deliverable audits. What kind of compliance that you're trying to offer and follow and review? What kind of optimization to your process that you're bringing into the table to make sure your business operates effectively, reduce mistakes, and maintain high level of performance. So make sure to understand what is working again. Do you have a clear, defined system with your system in place, process in place? Is it documented? Is it accessible, updated, not outdated? If not, what needs to be improved and action to fix? Fourth segment is again revenue, right? Again, in small business, when it comes to revenue, you start thinking about what's your income that's generated for the product or services that you offer, whether it's monthly or annually, any span of incremental time, right? Because you would have put a lot of effort in that and your energy, fuel to expand and sustain with the growth. Marketing. So with this revenue, again, first segment, marketing, it's a process of creating awareness and attracting potential customers to the business, right? It involves understanding the target audience, crafting the right message, and using the most effective channels and strategies to reach them. I'm pretty sure everyone in the market is now aware about what kind of digital marketing strategies they have. But does that mean you're actually leveraging those channels effectively, scientifically, that can be aligned in a custom way to your business? Have you built your brand presence to the extent that you need to? Are you going out of your comfort zone to communicate the value of your products and services? Do you have really strong marketing strategy that is not just driving the potential customers, but also educating and nurturing them in terms of what you offer so that it's more easier to have the consistent conversions into a paying clients, right? It's really important to not just educate ourselves what kind of marketing channels we have, but how to leverage them. Next, second aspect is sales. Sales, it's a process of converting leads generated through marketing, obviously. All of us know that. You know better than anyone else for your business what it takes to drive the sales. But what is more important is, are you really considering the importance of building relationships and understanding every now and then what is your customer in need of? What is he looking for? What is he or she looking for? Customer needs research has to be consistently done. Today, what customer might need, tomorrow, customer might need the same solution in a different way based on the technology advancement, right? So it's very important to understand where are your critical actual buyers. You need to really structure your sales process to have a critical closing deals that consistently and effectively. So you need to really navigate through from lead qualification to follow-up to negotiating and finalizing the sales proactively, solving the customer problems and designing to maximum level of conversion rates with the proper structured process. Next, scale. Marketing, sales, and next scale. Scaling is about obviously increasing the capacity of number of leads that you can serve from point X to point Y, which will help you generate more revenue proportionately and increase the cost aspects also. You have to make sure you have a controlled cost spend in relative to revenue that you are anticipating, or else there's very minimal profit margin that you're envisioning here. That means what it takes is you have to really find your ways to grow your business by reaching out to your critical customers and more different, variant, divergent customers in a different region, expanding your product offerings to different levels and reaching out and having entirely new markets. And the scaling involves optimizing your processes, you're leveraging your technology. Make sure you research on what kind of technology in the market every now and then. And refining business models to handle more volume efficiently. Right? Because scaling is the key to long-term growth, as it allows to serve more customers and increase revenue without degrading your quality and operational efficiency. Right? So evaluate if you have consistent lead generation. Evaluate if you have consistent closure rates. Evaluate if you have right operational efficiency in order to scale to the next level as your volume grows in your business. If not, if you would like to discuss, I'm here to brainstorm and help you further. Right? So we have covered really the most critical 5 areas of business growth. It's very much important not to be overwhelmed with all of these segments that we just spoke about. But you need to understand, in order to unlock the substantial increase in revenue and profit, the 5 areas need to be considered critically to get constant leads, conversions, transactions, train your team, train your leadership, address the pricing, profit, represent the most critical margin of your, how much percentile of your effort, time, both time and cost aspect point of view, your business activity is driving the revenue. What I mean is, if 20% is invested in business activity, 80% should be involved in generating the results. That means your brand presence need to be part of that 80% effort to generate your sales and get the conversions done and generate your revenue. And regular implementation of what you offer, both from product and service, consistently once the first phase is done, needs to be part of 20% business activity. So pay attention to leads, conversions, and transactions, pricing, and profits. So having said that, the final segment I don't want to miss is the execution. This is the bridge between ideas and results, right? Where you started with a vision and what results you're having, right? It's about brilliantly navigating through challenges that you come across with a structured approach. If you don't have structured approach to execute with a proper system, process, everything we have discussed so far, considering you, if you're listening to this video, I presume probably you are in small to medium business level, right? Or maybe you're interested, you've crossed the growth, you're interested in leveraging some of the leadership workshops that we can work through it. Irrespective of what's your need to watch this video to leverage our business coaching, we will help you navigate through all of these segments of your business and get to the mode of having a plan, which will be a great outcome to start with a clear, structured mind, with your SMART goals in place and have an action-oriented plan. Consistently execute that together, review the progress, and make an adjustment. What needs to be done both from your resource capacity, talent you have, the vision you have, and strategical alignment you have, and having an alternate plan to mitigate the risk that you might come across. So again, understand what is working for you in terms of having your execution in place with the periodic reviews with your key stakeholders. Be very proactive and adaptable in adjusting this strategies that you need to execute. If not, if you feel there is a need for improvement, if you feel there's a need for action to fix, don't worry, it's achievable. Contact us. We will help you assess your business current stage of point A and give you your clear report of how you can understand and discover the gaps and come up with the action oriented plan for what needs to be improved. And let's work together of right actions for your business to get to the point of B. Right? So why wait? Let's work together, and I'm happy to help you get your business to your vision level, success level. I look forward to discuss with you.